Audio check.
Test, test.
Ready? Let's go.
Ready for a new era
of racing in the Middle East.
6 rounds of competition.
More excitement.
led out into a new season.
We are the first generation.
Ready to get started.
We are
the Porsche Carrera Cup
Middle East.
And we say another time, welcome to Bahrain. It's the second race weekend of the Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East. Wonderful conditions. We can see it here on the starting grid and with these nice images of the drone. We're looking forward to the third race of the season, and I'm very pleased to have my man next to me, Christopher Zechling. Great to have you, like last year, here in the commentary booth. And congratulations, you came from Kuwait with a podium result, with the 12 hours there, so perfectly prepared for some motorsports today.
Exactly. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And you just said it's third race weekend ahead, so I'm really excited. And yeah, I hope that what I've learned in Kuwait last weekend, I was able to teach my driver Bashar Mardini, who's starting in third in Pro-Am. But yeah, let's see how this race goes.
And you're the perfect man to tell us a bit more about the car. I mean, it's a sophisticated race machine, the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, and I think it's fair to say that it's a difficult car to drive.
Yeah, it most definitely is not easy, and it is one of the best race cars in terms of even training tools, because engine, gearbox at the back, no ABS, no traction control, although the AM category does race with ABS, but it is really a handful of a car. And one thing I'm really excited to see is a new contestant on the grid, Charlie Worts, because obviously he is very experienced in Formula racing, just came from Macau as well, and now he's sitting in a very different vehicle to what he's used to. So yeah, let's see how he gets on.
Yeah, that's the Austrian connection. I completely understood that. And of course, you're completely right. I mean, what an amazing job he's doing here. He's fourth on the grid. And as you mentioned, he just had his debut in a Formula 3 car, and this in the streets of Macau. I mean, maybe one of the most difficult tracks there is in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Monaco of Asia, really. And I've raced the Porsche Super Cup 3 times in Monaco. So yeah, whether you're in Monaco, in Macau, whether you're in a Porsche Cup car or in a Formula 3 car, having your first time in a new car at a new track, at a city track, is definitely very, very challenging. But like we were talking about, these Cup cars are super challenging to drive as well. Turn 1 here in Bahrain is quite bumpy as well. With no ABS, you got to be super smooth. You got to be careful how you modulate your braking into that bumpy corner. And yeah, it's pretty easy to lock up and make a mistake. So yeah, let's see how the boys get on. And I'm sure they're going to put on a good show for us.
Absolutely, and we see the conditions. It's not as hot as it was 4 weeks ago when we kicked off the season here. A little windy, but I think perfect conditions for great racing.
Oh, the weather is perfect, about 20 degrees. It is quite windy, but turn 1, you should be getting a bit of a headwind, so you could perhaps delay your braking point by a couple of meters. But yeah, turn 1, great overtaking opportunity, and in general, this track is a beautiful racing circuit. Always provides loads of action, and yeah, can't wait to see those 5 lights go out.
And is that also an advice you gave to your man, to Bashar Mardini? We will see that right in the first lap.
I told him to go out there, have fun, but of course, it's down to the points. He's racing for the championship again, but he's got, on the grid, his teammate Ahmed Al-Shihab directly ahead of him in terms of the car in front of him. But of course, he has Khalid Al-Amadi on his left in second in Pro-Am. So yeah, it's going to be a long run down to turn 1. We can see this beautiful start finish and a really tight 90-degree right-hand in turn 1. So it's going to be tight down there.
Yeah, and you spoke about Ahmed Al-Shihab, who was the fastest in the Pro-Am class in qualifying. We also had that in our live stream. And well, I think the man from Kuwait does an amazing job so far here. He is really on a mission in the Pro-Am class.
Oh, totally. I mean, Theo Overhaus is P1 outright, and the gap from the pro driver to the P1 Pro-Am, which is Ahmed Al-Shahab, is just about a second. So Ahmed did a fantastic job out there because, again, this circuit is really challenging, especially in these cars. So he really put it together. Great lap, and yeah, he was very pleased.
And here we see the pole setter on the right side with the yellow and red DHL car. Theo Overhaus, the young man from Germany who was the rookie champion in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany last season, and also had a guest start in the DTM. He's the youngest ever guest starter in the DTM, and yeah, already spoke with Robert Lechner this morning, a very promising young man who for sure wants to have also a footprint in the summer season in Europe.
Most certainly, but don't forget we have in second place Janes Stiak. He's part of Larry Forder's Racing Academy, so he's got him as a coach, as a trainer, and he's going to be wanting to clinch that first place, obviously away from Theo. But then, of course, we have Colin Boinghausen in third. So, you know, we're really set up for a really great race today.
3 young German men, and Janes Stiak on second. He's the youngest in the field, 16 years old. And as you said, I just spoke had a little chat with Larry Forder, and he told me they had some kind of boot camp together, just some kind of team building and well, testing boundaries, and obviously it seemed to work out.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, racing is all about, you know, you got to be physically fit, but mentally it's such a mental game, that motorsport. So you got to be in harmony with yourself. You got to be fully focused before a qualifying session, and especially a race that's coming right up. So yeah, they've done a good job so far, and let's see what he can bring.
We said it, we are driving here, or we are racing in 3 categories. It's the Pro class, 6 drivers are participating there. Then we have the Pro-Am class and the AM class. And well, as you mentioned, the AM class, it's possible to use ABS, and I think that's quite helpful for the ambitious driver, just to get a better feeling with the car.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your first time in a Cup car ever, then you might want to, you know, get a taste of the Cup car with ABS, because, like I said, it's really tricky to manage these cars without any driver's aids. So yeah, if you're in the AM category, you have that as a bit of an advantage. But yeah, I mean, I can hear the engines revving up, so I think it's just a few moments to go till we have our formation lap, and that means you're going to be seeing a lot of zigzagging to really get those tire temperatures up and going, get the engines warm and ready, and well, get yourself warm and ready as well.
And it's also Theo Overhaus, the man who's leading in the championship after the first race weekend we had here in Bahrain. Was the season opener when we were racing here together, or in front of the WEC crowd. Was a Friday night race. Always an amazing atmosphere here in Bahrain when the sun goes down and the lights are on. And now we're seeing the GT3 Cup cars going into the formation lap. As you said, tire temperature, tire pressure, most important thing now. So we're seeing Søren spraying, waving.
I mean, if you're thinking, you know, why do they need to warm up the tires since we're racing in the Middle East? Yes, it's quite warm out here, you know, but you still got to bring those tires up to operating temperatures, which is, you know, way higher than what the ambient temperature really is. So you want to utilize your brakes, you want to utilize the power of that Boxer 6 cylinder engine, you know, get those rear tires and front tires up to temperature. You want to avoid the curbs because tire pressures are quite low in the beginning, but yeah, this long, beautiful, sweeping Sector 1 here going into this first gear hairpin. Beautiful part of the circuit. I love it.
Here we see Colin Boinghausen with the white and red car, starting from third position. Well, you are also used to that car, so give us an idea of what's going on right now. The drivers, it's just a sprint race, so no room for any mistakes?
Yeah, well, there's a thing. I did an endurance race last weekend where you have, 12 hours to sort of make up for a mistake that you might have made. But in a sprint race like this, 12 laps only, about 25 to 30 minutes of racing, you cannot afford to make a mistake. You got to be on it from the moment the lights go out till you cross that checkered flag, ideally in first place in either class that you're in. So it's really paramount to get those tires and the entire car up to temperature. Get yourself focused. You need to know your reference points. You need to know your braking point, your turning points. You need to know all these things to really make sure that you get that race under your belt.
There we just saw for a little moment your driver, Basha Madini. Different kind of livery this time, his car. Looks very nice in the black and aggressive livery. This is the Overhaus, the pole setter. But on 9th overall, we have Basha Madini, the man who was competing. Here we see him with an 89 in the back.
And of course, right behind Bashar Madini, you can see the bright blue and yellow car of Søren Spreng, warming his tires as well. Obviously very successful in the Pro-Am Championship in Carrera Cup Germany, and he's going to be wanting to definitely try and capitalize at the start of the race. So I'm really excited to see what this race will bring.
And we can see the cars now coming to the starting grid out of our commentary booth. Always a great and almost goosebump moment when we hear 15 GT3 Cup cars. Again, on the right side, it's the pole man. It's Theo Overhaus, the young German. On second, the youngest on the grid, Jannis Diak, also from Germany, and Colin Böninghaus on third. Fourth position, we should have an eye on Charlie Wurz, the son of Alex Wurz, the former Formula One guy. Green flag is out, and we are waiting for racing in Bahrain for the first time that weekend. The lights are out, and we see a good start from Theo and also from Jannis Diak, who seemed to be very speedy.
Yeah, the great getaway, and now he's on the inside. Of course, you can make your run on the outside as well, but let's see how these two manage through turn 1 and that turn 2 kink, which should be flat out at this point.
We can see Jannis Diak in the lead, but Theo tries to strike back, and that's what he did.
Yeah, but again, you can go side by side through turn 2. You gotta leave room for the other driver out there, and looks like Janne might have clinched that first place for now.
What a great fight between these two young guns.
Another great overtaking opportunity into that turn 1 hairpin right-handed we spoke about earlier. Janne on the inside, undercut by Theo. Looks like he made it stick.
Yeah, Jannis Diak had to go wide, and so it's the pole setter who is leading this race. But no major incident. Oh, there's a big lock-up.
That's what we were talking about. Now we have Ahmed Al-Shihab getting a good run out of turn 9 down the back straight. Third gear left-hander coming up. You want to be on the left-hand side now for the inside line.
Again, a lock-up this time from Theo Overhaus. And this is Ahmed Al-Shihab, already in the back of Alex Wurz.
Yeah, that got really close, didn't he?
And this is the fight between a Pro and a Pro-Am driver. We've seen that also last season many times, that the Pro-Am drivers are very speedy, very competitive.
Now you might have seen Janne's headlights turned on. He is trying to put pressure as much as he can onto the leader, Theo, right now. Now what you want to do if you're in Theo's position is you want to turn that rear view mirror off, basically. Just look ahead and make sure to concentrate.
Yeah, we see that Colin Böninghaus lost a few positions. Started from third position and is now behind Ahmed Al-Shihab.
Side by side in turn 1, bit of contact there.
That is Flint Schuring and the Australian man Jackson Walls. similar car livery, so difficult to see who is in front right now.
I mean, so far we've got some high-octane racing out there, loads of action. I saw a bit of action back there as well. I think that was actually Bahrain trying to make a move on Colin, but now we're back with the leaders. Bit of a gap now between Theo and Janne. Looks like they're settled in, but yeah, we have Colin behind Bashar right now.
Yeah, Colin must have had a problem somehow, because we can see now it's Theo Overhaus who's leading in front of Jannis Diak, and then it's already Flint Schuring and Jackson Walls on 3 and 4. And behind it's Charlie Woods, who also lost a position, who is currently on 5th.
I mean, now it's really time to settle in, find your rhythm, look ahead, and really focus on making up your positions.
Now we see Bashar in front of Colin Böninghaus. Now he's putting pressure on Ahmed Al-Shikhab. Well, this is the fight for the win in the Pro-Am class.
Absolutely, and now it's all, you know, the championship is a very long one. We've got another race tomorrow, and then of course we're heading over to the UAE, Dubai and Abu Dhabi coming up, and then the 2 F1 rounds in support of Formula 1, of course. So it's a long championship. You want to fight, but you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to have a DNF. You don't want to score no points. You just want to bring it home, get the points, think about the long run.
And we spoke about tire degradation a lot when the WEC was here, and it was really hard. And Robert just said this morning that the track, the asphalt, is very aggressive in terms of degradation. But I think for the sprint race it should be fine. Or
it should be, but the track still is relatively abrasive. So if you're asking too much from the car, from the tires, you can definitely lose some performance. And we can see a bit of side-by-side action out of turn 2. That looks like Søren Sprang and the 2 Saudi cars. I think it's Ahmed Al-Amadi and Saud Al-Saud racing really close bumper to bumper right there.
And it's Saud Al-Saud who should be in front. He was the rookie champion last year.
They're a big move into the hairpin.
Lock up, and now here's the attack of his teammate, of Khalid Al-Ahmadi, but seems like Saud Al-Saud can prevail for the moment.
It's always a tricky situation when you're racing against your teammate, because you want to make a pass, but you really want to, and you have to avoid contact, because contact within teammates is not what the team wants.
You can see Søren Sprang and the 2 drivers from Saudi Racing, Saud Al-Saud ahead of his teammate Khalid Al-Ahmadi. And then we have the GP Elite driver from the AM class just behind, with Cédric Chazon, the Frenchman.
Yeah, what he's doing now, he's waiting for those 2 to sort of keep fighting, and then he's going to find himself probably in a very favorable position as Khalid Al-Ahmadi is trying to put real pressure onto his teammate right there. And if you're Cédric now in the GP lead car, you just want to wait there and see what unfolds and try to capitalize on these 2 guys fighting.
Bashar Madini, and well, it's still Colin Bönninghausen who is behind him, just in 8th position. That's definitely not what the young man from Germany wanted in that race. Starting from the 2nd row on the grid, he was willing to give everything to maybe gain the first victory in the championship, but we're gonna ask him later on. Couldn't see what really went wrong right after the start.
At this point, looks like Theo Overhaus has everything under control. I don't want to speak too soon, but he's got a 2.5 seconds of the lead ahead of Janne Stiak, followed by Flint Schuring in 3rd.
Well, and we have to mention mention that Jackson Walls, who was starting from 6th on the grid, the young man from Australia who was second the Porsche Carrera Cup Australian last season. Quite a decent race so far from the young man.
So far so good. Of course, he's looking to try and chase down Flynn Schuring in third. He's got about a second and a half as well of a gap to third, so he's going to put everything that he has in him and try and close that gap. Beautiful sunset shot as the cars are heading into the final corner of this beautiful Bahrain International Circuit.
How difficult is it for the driver when the sun goes down and then the lights go on? It changes a little bit the perspective, right?
I was just going to say, because we had a great shot of Janes Diek's face right there, I personally would put my visor down, because if we're looking out of our commentary booth, the sun is really sitting low right now, facing the last corner, so it is quite blinding.
Here we have Flynn Schuring, the younger brother of Maurice Schuring, who did a great season in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup last year. He was also participating in the Porsche Junior Shootout. And now we see his younger brother trying to get in his footsteps. Also 16 years old. I mean, we always have to mention that these young kids are really at the beginning of a career, and it's just amazing that we see them all fighting here for the victory.
Yeah, man, this is what makes this championship so great, because in the winter you hardly have any testing opportunities, or especially racing opportunities over in Europe because of the cold weather, but you can come out here into the beautiful Middle East, have these amazing racetracks at your disposal and fights in those Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars. I mean, this is the best practice anyone can have if you're planning on keeping fit over the winter and preparing for, obviously, the summer season over in Europe for next year.
And of course, it's great to see all these young talents here in the region. I mean, of course, it's important to have that development here in the Middle East, also to be some kind of stepping stone for young talents coming from the region, as we see here with Khaled Al-Ahmadi and Saud Al-Saud, who did a fantastic job so far. If it was in GT4 racing or now with a GT3 Cup car. How do you see the situation of motorsport? I mean, you're very familiar with living in Dubai, so you know the region.
Growing up in the Middle East, especially in Dubai and the UAE, you can really see an upward trend in terms of motorsport interest. Like you were saying when you introduced me, last weekend we had the 12-hour race in Kuwait, another fantastic and beautiful circuit. And we have the Qatar circuit, Losail International Circuit, where F1 races at. So we have loads of fantastic Grand Prix. Of course, Yas Marina and the Dubai Autodrome over in the UAE. So, so many circuits, and there's a lot of potential in the region, and you can really see it's slowly picking up. There's more and more interest from the locals as well. So, it's really looking good.
And we will be in Dubai as well with this championship. January, back-to-back race with Abu Dhabi, and the championship will be together with F1, Jeddah, Saudi, and again here in Bahrain, season opener, the Formula One. I mean, that's also amazing for everybody to be part of the Formula One. You know that from your time in the Super Cup, and you're working. I know you're working also for F1, so it's always great to have that environment.
Exactly, I was just going to say it. I mean, not only does this give you a real Carrera Cup experience, but it also gives you a Super Cup experience, because the last two rounds of this Carrera Cup Middle East Championship are in support to Formula One in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, and that sensation of racing in front of a Formula One audience and Formula One crowd is just electric, really.
We see Colin Berningshausen, who doesn't find a way to pass Ahmed Al-Shehab. Well, quite difficult, because we said it. Ahmed Al-Shehab, he is racing Pro M class, but he is lightning fast.
It certainly is. Now, this could play into the hands of Bashar Medini, because obviously Colin is in a different category to Ahmed, and Ahmed just doesn't need to fight anyone right now, because he wants to pull away from Bashar. But of course, Colin needs to pass Ahmed to catch up with Charlie Ward's up ahead. And it also looks like to me that Charlie has now closed the gap to Jackson Walls so far. So he's down from 1.5 seconds to just 7/10. So we can see it in number 7. Yep.
It's a train coming together there. Seems like the front, Theo Overhaus, he said it has everything under control, but for third, that would be quite intense fight.
I mean, Ahmed is doing a really great job in the lead here in the Pro-Am and keeping up with Charlie Wirtz as well, whilst being under pressure from Colin behind him. So he's really keeping calm and cool right now.
You see Søren Spreng. He's 9th overall, and just behind Basha Mardini. That's his target. The fight for a good result in the Pro-Am class. Here we see top. This is a nice pack coming together here. Let's see if Søren Spreng can make it.
Yeah,
also to Bashar's back.
Yeah, that train starts with Jackson Walls in 4th overall, and we have everyone lined up behind him, and everyone's going to try and make a move onto the car ahead. But again, it's so tricky, it's so difficult to really outbrake someone because everyone brakes as late as they can. And again, we don't have any ABS, you know, with these guys up front there, so it's so hard to judge your braking points and to really maximize an overtake there.
So as you mentioned, ABS, we have 3 cars with ABS, I guess, in the AM class. It's whether they choose it or not, but we think they are all driving today with ABS. It's Sebastian Gorga, who had that accident yesterday, who is leading the class in front of Leo Willard and Klaus Berninghausen. As we see here, Saud Al Saud, the Saudi racing team.
Well, it looks like there has been a bit of a shuffle because Jackson Walls is now in between Ahmed Al-Shihab and Bashar Mardini, finding himself in 7th, and Colin passed them all up into 5th.
And we see Charlie Woods on 4th position. So let's see what happened there. Bashar Mardini still behind that train. Søren Spreng with a little lock-up, trying to close the little gap he has.
But yeah, you got to be so careful when you keep locking up your front wheel. It's just a little bit, the track will really eat up those tires. So you want to be as smooth and efficient as you can on the brakes. You might want to dial back your brake bias just a little bit to save those tires, because we still have 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go, and it's still Theo Overhaus who's leading ahead of Janus Stiak and Flint Schuring, the fast man from the Netherlands. But then it's now Alex Wurt's son Charlie who is 4th, ahead of Colin Berninghausen, who was on 8th position. Now we see the young man from Germany with the white and orange car, number 55, who made it to 5th position. And then behind it's Ahmed Al-Shihab. And as you said, Jackson Walls, the man from Australia, he lost 3 positions, now only on 7th. Haven't seen any incident so far. Maybe he just had a lock-up or some kind of problem.
Bit of a moment there, of course, but it looks like that Colin is now going to be applying a bit of pressure on Charlie Wirtz. Of course, Charlie in his first Carrera Cup race in that Porsche 911 Cup car.
He's doing a brilliant job.
Really good, yeah. Like I said, it's such a different machine. It weighs twice as much as the last race car he was in, and it's quite a different element that you have to work with when you're coming through turn 6 and 7 of these beautiful, fast right and left sweeping corners into the heartbreaking first gear hairpin.
And some kind of different approach, because normally we see in the Cup cars it's the specialists who are the fastest, and it's just so many times I heard that don't do a GT3R program when you want to concentrate on the Cup car, because it's so different in the handling. But now, as you mentioned it, coming from a Formula 3 car, I mean, it's a complete different world.
It could be more different, yeah.
Here we have the young man who just turned 18 in December. Don't know if he had a big party.
I'm sure he did, but now it's party time behind the wheel, and he needs to find a bit more speed to close the gap to Charlie if he wants to get that 4th place. I'm just looking at the lap times of our leader, Theo Overhaus. Really consistent running 204s and 203s.
He is the fastest man on track, no doubt about it. What we can see is that all the guys that are in front are all rookies this year. There's also a rookie classification. Just an amazing job the young guns are doing here.
Flynn Schuring sitting in 3rd. Now heading up to this triple left-hander, bit of a downhill. Fast entry and then really slow and tight apex. And you got to be so careful on the brakes to not lock up the front left. Even in Formula 1, we can see a lot of drivers locking up there when they come to Bahrain. But Flint negotiated the corner beautifully. Now down the back straight, hard braking as the curb begins on the right-hand side. Dip the nose in, down to 3rd gear, take that curb on the inside. Into turn 12, running a lot of curb on the inside again, up to 4th gear. Down 2 gears into the penultimate corner, and watch those track limits on the exits. And now one more corner to go into turn 16, down the 2nd gear, hit the apex early in power because we have a very, very long start-finish straight that leads into turn 1.
See again Johannes Stier, 16 years old. He looks a little bit like Sebastian Vettel in his former times, with the long hair and always wearing like a base cap, and sympathetic young man from Germany. Here he is. It's already the podium, first race weekend here. And, this should become another very decent result for him.
Absolutely. It looks like on a timing monitor that Colin might have made a move on Charlie, because it looks like they have switched position.
And we can see that in the replay that Colin Böninghausen somehow found a way to pass Charlie Woods. Great shots with the drone to see the racetrack. In the desert of the Kingdom of Bahrain, the sun is coming down. Always Great atmosphere, and you can see that in the pictures, the warm light.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful place to come to and race at. It is one of my favorite tracks, even in my sort of top 10 in the world. It is fantastic.
When did you race here for the last time, Christopher?
Wow, I have to go back quite a few years. I'm gonna say it must have been 2016, I think it was.
And we're going into the last lap of this first sprint race here at the weekend, the second race weekend of the Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East season. And this man, yellow and red DHL livery, the man from Germany, Theo Oberhaus, is leading that race. We can say it was only tight and difficult for him in the beginning when he almost lost the start against Janez Diak, who could put his black nose ahead of him. But after he struck back, it seems like he has really a very clear and dominant race.
Yeah, he definitely kept cool as a cucumber, and he's looking like he's going to be bringing it home. Got a near 5-second lead out over Janne, and followed by Flint Schuring. But yeah, it's just, another 3 kilometers to go, another 5 or 6 corners ahead of him. But the fight's still on,
the train is still here. We see Ahmed Al-Shehab is leading that train. And then it's Jackson Walls from Australia, Yoman Basha Madini, and Søren Sprang. Well, he doesn't play any role in that fight of these 4 drivers. Fighting for 6th position. And we have the man who won the very first race in the history of the Porsche Carrera Cup. Middle East, Theo Oberhaus, flashing his lights. Congratulations to the very young man from Germany. 2nd victory in the championship, and of course he extends his lead in the overall classification. And congrats as well to Janez Diak. As we see, the fight is still on here for Yoman Basha, but I guess he will take it easy.
Yeah, it looks like he's bringing it home in 2nd. Of course, Ahmed Al-Shehab winning the Pro-Am category. Super
well
happy.
Deserved.
Definitely well deserved. He went all the way up to 5th overall. Really good job. Fantastic driving. Well done.
Here's the winner. Great job, great racing, and we have to say it was fair racing. I mean, it was very tight, but it seemed like when we look at the cars, no touching.
Everyone left room for the other to fight at and race at. So, no, beautiful racing so far. Great job, everyone.
And the good thing is we have another racing day tomorrow. So the full package again with qualifying and the 2nd sprint race of that 2nd race weekend here in Bahrain. As you mentioned, it's so important to get mileage. These young drivers that are preparing and trying to get the finishing touches with that car. That's just, we had that extensive testing day on Thursday. It's just a great opportunity.
It certainly is, because every lap you do, every kilometer you drive, you just learn, and you can take what you learn with you over to Europe once the season here ends, and then apply the skills that you sharpened whilst racing in the Middle East in whatever championship you'll end up racing over the summer. So again, like I said, it's fantastic. And yeah, Ahmed still flashing his lights, celebrating.
Yeah, he also raced in Germany in the Carrera Cup. Very experienced man. He's racing now for the Kuwait racing team. But he did a flawless job in qualifying and now also in the race. Just a 100% job in the Pro-Am class.
Yeah, just like Theo Oberhaus, they put it together. And in the M category, Sebastian Gorga put it together as well, coming home in 1st. So these three did everything right. And
That's
they'll
the,
be...
I would say, the best recovery for the crash he had yesterday.
Yeah.
He was starting with a different car today and managed to win the AM category. Sebastian Gorga, and also congrats to Leo Willett, who said before the race it could be a little boring because the man ahead of me is just too fast, and Klaus Böninghausen is not quick enough to really put me under pressure. So we're gonna hear him later on if it was a easy race for him or what happened. And here we see the classification after that first race here in Bahrain. Theo Overhaus winning his second race, his championship, ahead of Jannes Diak. Flint Schuring, the young brother of Maurice Schuring from the Netherlands. Colin Böninghausen, who started from third on the grid, finishes on fourth. And then it's already Ahmed Al-Shehab on fifth overall. Great achievement. Charlie Wurz on sixth. The man from Australia, Jackson Walls, on seventh. Basha Madini, your man, on 8th position. Are you happy with that result?
He started third in class, finished second in class, so yeah, improvement.
And Søren Sprang on 9th overall. And then we have the first Saudi racing driver with Khaled Al-Ahmadi on 10th overall. And then that should be Saud Al-Saud on 11th. Cedric Chasson from France. Sebastian Gorga, the winner in the AM class, Leo Willert and Klaus Böninghausen, the father of Colin Böninghausen, also from Germany. Well, great racing.
Definitely.
And now we see the cars coming back. It's time for celebration. This is Ahmed Al-Shehab, happy, and on the right side with the black helmet. This is Theo Overhaus. So we are seeing the highlights of the race, and it's time for the podium. Later on, let's see if we can have a little chat with the drivers then. So Christopher, as we still see the highlights, I will be out now on the podium. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure again.
Thank you for having me.
And well, we'll see us here tomorrow again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we start, of course, with the overall classification. I have to take my glasses on, sorry for that, but otherwise I just can't read it. So we have on third position, overall, a young man from the Netherlands. It's Flint Schuring. And he had an amazing start and put his black nose already ahead, but then had to be fine with a great result on second place. Janis Diak from Germany. And an astonishing race. Congratulations. Also a young man from Germany, his second victory here in the championship. After pole position, he's the winner. Theo Overhaus. And as we also want to have the winner of the rookie classification, it's of course also Theo Overhaus. So the space will remain there on the podium. And from the winning team from GP Elite, it is Steven, who's joining us on the podium, please. Big applause for the guys who made a great show. And for the winner, it's the national anthem of Germany. So that was the short version of the anthem, and it's time for the trophies. And for first, please, Sheriff Al-Mahdi, the Chief Commercial Officer here from the Bahrain International Circuit. Please give the trophy to Theo Overhaus. For second, it's Isaac Horoy, the Project Manager of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Horoy, good to see you here. And for third, it's Saudik Kalavat, Senior Manager of BMF. And of course, Theo, you also get a trophy for the rookie classification. Hurray! Again, your job, please present the trophy to Theo Overhaus for the winner in the rookie classification. And Robert, it's your turn. For GP Elite, the winning team, the trophy for Steven. Congratulations, guys. So please come together. It's time for the pictures, for the photographers. All together. Thank you. Congrats to a great race, and well, we have a champagne. I think it's rose water, but I'm sure you need your overalls clean and in the best state it could be tomorrow again, when we see us again here. And we continue with the Pro-Am class. It was a very exciting race, and on third position it's Søren Sprang from Germany. Again, the man from Team GP Elite, and then it's Basha Mardini on second. Great race today. And the winner, an amazing race today. And it's time for the Kuwait fans to celebrate the man, Ahmed Al-Shekhab from Kuwait Racing. So it's time for the trophies again. Sheriff Al-Mahdi, please one more time, the Chief Commercial Officer of the Bahrain International Circuit for Ahmed Al-Shehab, the winner in the Pro-Am class, 5th overall, great race. And then it's Isa Korui, the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany is here for 2nd. And Sadiq Kaladav, please, for 3rd. Come together for the photo, please.
Where's the camera?
Put your hands together, great racing in the Pro-Am class, congratulations. And we continue with the AM class. 3rd position, it's Klaus Bödinghausen from Germany. From Austria, it's Leo Willert, 2nd place in an amazing race. And amazing, yesterday he was a little bit unlucky. It was great to have him on the grid today, and now he's the winner of that race. Sebastian Gorga, congratulations. And please, Sheriff Al-Mahdi, please present the trophy for the winner. Isa Korui, one more time. And Sadiq Kaladava for 3rd. Okay, come together, guys, for the photographers, please. Come together. Yeah. Happy? Thank you very much, guys. Put your hands together for the 3 guys in the AM class. And last but not least, that's right, we have the regional classification in the GCC class. And we're starting with Saud Al-Saud from Saudi Racing. And his teammate is on 2nd. It's Khaled Al-Ahmadi. Congratulations. And we see the man who was already on the podium on the first step. He's coming back again here in the GCC class. It's Ahmed Al-Shehab. Congratulations for the victory here. And we give the trophies again, please. Yeah, Hurry, one more time. So your applause, please, for the regional classification in the GCC class. Come together for the photographers, please. It's out. Please come together.
Everybody will join for the final picture. Everybody joins for the final picture.
And so please, all the drivers come together. We are doing a final picture after the first race here in Bahrain. And we need, of course, all the trophies. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Well done, boys. Thank you for keeping cars one piece. Good job.
Audio check. Test. Ready? Let's go.
Ready for a new era.
Of racing in the Middle East.
6 rounds of competition. More excitement.
Let out into the new season.
We are the first generation.
Ready to get started.
We are
We are
We are
the Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East.